Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you all for joining us today for this interactive session where we will learn about some marketing strategies which will be beneficial for our community to grow our businesses. I would like to welcome Mr. Vishal Dhingra, Chairperson BAA, Mr. Sonal Jain, Founder and CEO Sotex, our GB members, our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Gagan Kapoor, Founder and CEO Go for Growth Consulting, and all our BA members. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would like to request Mr. Vishal Dhingra to say a few words. So please. So you're muted.
Now can you hear me? Thank you, Bobby. And first of all, a big thanks for Uma ma'am for joining back. Long time no see. And thank you everybody else for joining. And I was very happy when we saw 50 names. And what Vishal Narayan Sinha said 5 minutes ago, we all actually need new strategies to keep ourselves in the game. So I'm really looking forward from Sonal and Gagan to help us out, or basically to share their thoughts, what we can do sitting this far from our clients or the future clients, or even the existing businesses, how to take them forward. So I thank you both for giving your time today. I thank all my members for joining us. And again, Ruma ma'am. Anchal, I request you to take over. I don't want to waste more time here. I really want to look forward to basically listening to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Just to quickly introduce what we are going to be doing today and in the future series that we're holding. It's a 5 series session that we're holding in association with Sotex Connect. Sonal, being the founder of Sotex, was very kind to offer this session. And Gagan has been leading the initiative of trainings at Sotex Connect and would be taking care of a few sessions along with other industry experts who would be coming forth. So in today's session, we're talking majorly about marketing techniques. And just to give you a brief feedback on how we started this entire discussion with Sotex is there has been an increasingly a request for members to participate for more interactive discussions. And one of the things that we realize is the landscape of business is fast changing, from being so physical in terms of the industry that we are in. We've all gone virtual totally and completely, which has also given rise to the need of the hour where we need to change our strategies with respect to marketing, sales, HR, management, people, everything. So this entire initiative was thought through with the perspective that while things are changing, we also need to learn something new. And we also need to reiterate a few of these strategies which have been there since time immemorial. But in the rigmarole of our daily businesses and work lives, we forget them. So there is always a good reiteration of things that can help us go back to the roots and learn the same things over and over again and do it brilliantly. So today's thing is going to be more about marketing, which Gagan is going to lead. And then we have 4 more sessions lined up for our members on 22nd October, 12th November, 3rd December, and 17th December. These sessions will also, in a lot of ways, address our core issues of business development internally and externally, both ways. So internally, we're going to be talking about recruitment processes to make how a recruitment as a success story for all of us. I think each buying agent today struggles with recruitment. So that is one of the key points that we're going to address in one of the sessions. And in terms of growing our own businesses, like today, Gagan is going to just touch the surface of what he thinks marketing is correctly. But in the future sessions, he's also going to talk about how to delve deeper into different markets. I mean, a lot of our buying agents sometimes get stuck. I mean, we're not gods, we don't know everything, but there are strategies of actually getting to know things. So, how to develop these markets, how to get into the new markets, and also what are going to be the marketing strategies to get into different ways of branding yourself and marketing yourself. And finally, one of the interesting session at the end of the entire series would be on customer service. We are all service people. I mean, none of us will exist if we were not offering a service. So giving an exceptional customer service is moot to our entire core businesses. So there, Gagan and the trainers are going to highlight few of the important strategies that we as buying agents should be looking out for when we're looking at relationship management with our customers. Without taking any further time, I would hand over the mic back to Avi. Avi, please take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Mr. Sonal Jain, founder and CEO of Sotex, to share some views and to share something about Sotex.
Thank you, everyone. Special thanks going out to the leadership team, Mr. Dhingra, Anshul, Tanya, for helping us connect with the community of BA. Our initiative at Sotex is to have a digital textile community where the fashion buyers, manufacturers, mills, materials, and allied services all come to platform has been created with a simple idea because of the fact that landscape is big. It's a $3 trillion global industry, and yet 20% of the businesses are online. Less than 10% are there on the digital platforms. So people struggle on various accounts, whether it is finding the customers, capacities, development cost, changing trends, obsolete inventory, and so on and so forth. And there is no such platform which gives you industry-specific training which help you overcome all these challenges. At Sotex, what we are doing is giving the idea of how we can bring all this in together, make industry globally more efficient, improve the connectivity, reduces the problems in the inventory capacities and the time consumed, and basically helping the companies to grow. There are things which we are changing in the life cycle of the businesses also. So this is all towards the bring experience, which is much closer to the touch and feel market, reduce the consumption of natural resources and impact on the environment. We have already incorporated about 6 odd features on Sotex on this. And currently today, what we have is an initiative of Sotex Connect, where Gagan is leading this initiative, wherein we are bringing the trainings and upskilling verticals within the community, wherein the people can understand and learn from the experts and business trainers in this particular area. So we would be shortly launching this particular application also. I would again thank you all at the leadership team of BA for giving us this opportunity. And I want to, just have one final word of the fact that since all these trainers have been groomed and told about the textile fraternities problem, right from the buyers to the manufacturers and supply chain, so everyone is going to be, they're joining hands together with the Sotex to give that kind of value proposition where people can learn and exchange and grow in their business for the near future. So thank you once again, and I would like to hand over back to Avi for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. Now, without taking much time, I would like to invite Mr. Gagan Kapoor, who is a marketing consultant and a trainer, serial entrepreneur with over 21 years of experience in marketing and over 8 years of experience in training, with the sole passion of helping people differentiate their business and present themselves better. Mr. Gagan has done his MBA in marketing and holds a diploma in French language and literature, and is a certified trainer from T. Havakers, Success Resources America, and Business Networking International. He is also an implant marketing consultant with the United Nations. He's the founder of Go for Growth Consulting, which focuses building marketing strategies for organizations and marketing success trainings. He's also the lead consultant at Sotex and is heading the Sotex Connective Initiative. Over the past 11 years, he has helped more than 340 companies build their strategies and has trained more than 39,000 entrepreneurs. A fitness freak and an avid reader with a keen interest in space, science, and passion for trainings, Gagan now has dedicated his time fully to make marketing more fruitful for business owners. Mr. Gagan, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Avinash, for this wonderful introduction. And Thank you so much, Mr. Dhingra, Achal, Sonal, Tanya. We started discussing this particular topic, and now we're seeing it happening. It is a wonderful day that way. And I'm going to straight away jump into my presentation and start talking about what it means to really take your business to the next level with regards to our marketing. So there you go. We now start. And while talking about this, I would request you just a couple of things. First of all, I would request you to please, for the time being, for just 1 hour, I think we'll take lesser than 1 hour, try to finish within the 1 hour time from now. But my request is for this 1 hour, if you can please keep your phones onto the silent mode. There's something which you're going to do with regards to your business. You are going to develop your business strategies today with me. So I think that WhatsApp or a Facebook or a LinkedIn can wait for an hour. Okay. Then I would also request you, this training is never complete till the time you are with me engaged on the chat box. I will be asking you certain questions during the whole session. So if you answer me, this training will be for me as well as for you all much more fruitful. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, frankly, I see right now a screen and 4 faces, and I know that there are about 50 people in the room, 46 in the room. I don't know what the 46 people are doing. Physical trainings, it was different, right? And these trainings, it is actually difficult. So my energy, my thought that you all are with me only comes from that you are with me on the chat box. So if you think you are listening to me and have already started and excited, type in E for excited, just E in the chat box. So I know that you all are excited and also want to learn about marketing. Now I see a lot of E's coming in. Wonderful. See, this is what I need. All I want is be with me on the chat box so that I know that people are, there you go. Now there's a flurry of E's coming in. Wonderful. All right. So now I'm going to talk about also this notebook. Okay. You definitely need to have a notebook with you. I can guarantee you are going to get a lot of ideas today about your business. And that idea which you think I will implement, if you have not penned it down, you will never implement. I can guarantee you that also. So, and you don't need many ideas, frankly, to take your business to the next level. All you need is from this whole training, one idea which you're going to implement, and that will be done. So let's get going and talk about our marketing strategy. But before that, I also want to talk about some of the common challenges which people face. And if any of these challenges is happening to you, type in yes for me in the chat box. Okay. If you're facing too much of competition, or if you're not being able to expand to new markets, or if you think that how do I need to go to the next growth phase? Business pipeline is either drying up, or there's a lack of business strategy, or there's a challenge adopting new marketing methods, or customer service is an issue. If any of this challenge, what you are facing, type in yes for me in the chat box, or why. There are not too much of an effort I'm going to tell you to do. Just put a why in the chat box in case, okay, people are playing with me. Inkas Arjun says no and yes. Okay, that's interesting. Wonderful. All right. So I see some of the yeses and the maybes and the no's. So good. I know that these are one of the common challenges what people face, and the answers and the yeses do say this. So today's presentation is actually all around that. And what we are going to do today, we will start touching about what is branding and marketing. I'm sure most of you know this already. We will start with that and then go on to what are the 4 types of people we will ever deal with, irrespective of the business. We will talk about these 4 types of people, and then we will move on to our main topic, main agenda, which is 12 critical steps in building your marketing plan. Followed by, we will be talking about your pricing, your positioning, and along with that, we will be talking about the 7 channels of marketing for small business owners. And towards the end, we will talk about how can you really make marketing a habit. This is going to be our agenda for today. So now let's get going straight away and talk about branding and marketing. In very simple terms, when I talk about brand, okay, when you go out to a function, to a party, or to go out to an office for that matter, you do get ready. We all make up, we all dress up, and because we want to look good before we actually go out to meet people. Similarly, the brand, your company's brand, your name, before it reaches to the people, it needs to be looking good, right? So your brand, practically in a very simple term, is the personality of your business. And you just cannot afford that a bad looking brand goes out to people to meet. You can simply just consider it like that. You're a good brand, well designed, well prepared, nice visuals, actually gets you recognition. It increases once people see it as a good brand, it increases brand loyalty. People want to come back to somebody or a company who it looks good for that matter. And this also helps you generate new customers. And let me tell you, people like to refer to brands, right? They like to tell you, okay, you know what, go and talk to this brand. They're going to help you. And let me tell you, you actually can charge a premium. You have seen, he charges more now. He's become a brand. Why? Because brands have got recognition. If you just talk without a logo, without a thought process, simple letterhead, simple website, not looking good, nobody's going to touch you, frankly telling you. And there's one big reason why people do not get a response from the international companies is this one reason. And let me tell you, employee pride and satisfaction. Employees like to work with a company which looks like a brand, which has got a name in the market, right? Now, this is about the brand. And you need to look good. This is your personality. Today's training is now, how do you take this brand to the people? Okay, now that is the process of marketing. Taking your brand to the people, how do I reach to them, is all what, in very simple terms, marketing is. And if I were to just spell out, marketing helps you stand out. It helps you build authority in the market. It helps you build trust. When you talk about things, when your brand talks about certain things, people start believing you, people start trusting you. They know and they see that you are an authority in that particular segment. And this particular stuff, this particular authority and trust helps you reach the right audience. And all of these factors eventually turn into sales for you. So the marketing, a good brand, when marketed well, converts into a sale. That's a simple process, what we all should look at. So now let's talk about marketing. And now let's also talk about what kind of marketing should we do and what kind of marketing do we need. And at this point, I want to talk about this particular machine. How many of you know what this machine is? Okay, type in for me, please. As I said, I need to have responses. So tell me what this machine is. I can wait for a few seconds. I don't mind it. Kabir says, okay, slot machine straight away. Vegas. Okay, you're remembering Vegas. I can see. All right. Loot machine. Okay, interesting. All right. Some good ones coming in. Yes, it is a gambling or a slot machine. And while I see that a lot of you have a good knowledge of what this machine is, many of you have already played it. I want to still tell you what it does. Okay. What you do with it, you take a coin and put a coin in it and pull a lever or a button. Okay, push a button and it starts rolling in the hope that it is going to hit a jackpot someday or some hour. Okay, and what happens? You keep putting in money, and after some time, it still throws out some cents, right? And you think that, wow, this seems to be working, and you put some more money in it. And after a few hours, you see that you're already $100, $200 down, and this machine hasn't given you as much as a response as it should have. Okay, just few cents are out by the end of that $200 spent. Incidentally, my dear friends, our marketing a lot of times is also like that. This particular thing, this particular terminology in marketing terms is called the casino machine strategy, whereby we keep doing marketing not knowing whether it is going to perform or not, whether it is going to give me results or not. And you know what happens? We keep doing marketing without much knowledge, and sometimes it does work. Sometimes it gives you a lead or two and you think, oh, this seems to be working, let me put more money in it, right? Friends, we are in a casino machine strategy. While we do not need this, we still need some strategy. And another example to what we need in a very simple terms is an ATM machine strategy. What does an ATM machine does? In simple terms, you put a card in it, you say 2,000 rupees out, it gives you 2,000 rupees. You put a card and says balance check, it gives you the balance. Pin change, changes the pin, right? As simple as that. So whatever you are saying, it does. Your marketing should be an ATM machine strategy rather than a casino machine strategy. And all of us, while anybody, many of you must be doing digital marketing, many of you must be participating in trade fairs and all those. Whenever you are doing anything, question this: is it going to be a casino machine strategy for me or an ATM machine strategy? And learning well about marketing and seeing what things work and what things don't will really give you a direction towards the ATM machine strategy. And that's what we need to look. If you know and have understood this particular point, please type in ATM for me in the chat box. I must know that you have got this point, that you will never ever look at a strategy which is a casino machine strategy. Wonderful. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I can see people are with me. Thank you, Achal, Wasim, Kabir, Rohini, Ruma. Thank you so much. Okay, so marketing, another thing which I want to talk about, marketing is all about trust. If the person, if your client doesn't trust you, they will not do business with you. That's the foundation of every single thing in business. You all know this already. I don't have to say this twice, but it definitely needs a lot of emphasis. And while this trust is there, it still needs to be developed. A lot of times why people are not willing to do business with us, because they don't trust us yet. They have liked us, they have started talking to us, but because they do not trust us yet with their services or the products, they will not sign that dotted line with you. Okay, so we need to think that how we can really make sure that we build enough trust. And I will be talking about some of these factors of building trust. And now, before I actually go into your marketing plan, I want to talk about the 4 types of people you ever deal with in any business. And this holds true for your business as well. Okay, the first set of people, when you are reaching out to people, the first set of people are your prospects. This is what we call it as your potential customers. Next up, once you are talking to your prospects, now the prospects are the people who you don't know yet, who could be your potential. You go to a trade fair thinking that my prospects, my potential customers are going to be coming in. You do digital marketing thinking that I have an audience who's going to like my product. Okay, so these are a set of people for whom your only job is to make them aware that you exist. Now, this is very, very critical, friends. People who do not know you, your first thing should not be to sell them. Your first thing should be to just make sure that these people get aware about you, that you exist. And out of the hundreds and thousands of people, you are going to make them aware about your services. Some of them will raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested. So out of the 100 people, 1,000 people whom you meet on a trade show, or you on a digital marketing initiative, or email campaigns for that matter, some people will respond back. Some people will click your link and they will say, okay, give me a quotation. Okay, tell me more about your business. Okay, tell me this, tell me that. These are the people who enter into a second phase with you. These are the people who we call as leads in a very, very simple terms. Now, interesting to know here is that the communication we do to the prospects is different from the communication we do to the leads. With leads who have already shown interest in you, you do not need to make them aware about things more. You need to do enough so that they can get a confidence in your services and they buy from you. Now, what does that confidence mean? That confidence means that you may actually, you want to show your infrastructure to them. You want to show the kind of certifications you have. You want to show them your team. You want to show them the way you deal, the more professionalism you have in your dealings. All of these factors give these set of people, the leads, enough confidence so that they buy from you and they become your customers. Now, customers, the communication doesn't finish by becoming customers. The communication starts. You need to deliver them a world-class service. That's number one. But that also doesn't finish there. They need to come back next year. They need to come back after the next order. And the communication to them is for them to come back. And the second kind of communication to them is how they refer you further. Okay. So now if you notice, there are 3 kinds of people in any marketing strategy who needs a different kind of communication. Now, what is the problem with us? Unfortunately, we make one communication and send it out to all the people, thinking that this is what we have created one brochure, we have created one mailer and send it out to all the people, customers, leads, everything. But now you realize one needs awareness, second needs confidence, and the third needs a reassurance that you can come back to us, right? So that is something, it is very, very critical for us to understand. And there is a set of people who are not your customers, but this is what in marketing, what we call it as affiliates. These are the people who may not directly need your products or services, but because of the kind of industry you are in, they are also in the same industry, and they also have the common end customers as you are. They or you can seamlessly refer each other. These are the people, we call it as a part of the affiliate marketing. These are the people whom you need to collaborate with so that they can refer you, or these are the people who either come before you to meet the client or they come after you. These are the people who you can have an affiliation and have JVs for that matter, so that you both end up reaching each other's customers as well, right? So these are the 4 set of people any business worldwide, any business, any industry deals with. And you also need to understand, and a critical thing which I said, you need to have a different communication for all of them. Now, after we have understood these 4 set of customers, let's talk about and let's go into your building your marketing plan. Let's go into looking at what really is constituted in my marketing plan. And before I actually start talking about the marketing plan, I want to start talking about the mistakes. I want to start talking about what all we should not do. You know, isn't that the way? We should first understand what we shouldn't do, and then we should start taking the right steps. Okay. So let me tell you the biggest mistakes with what people do in marketing. I also did it for a longest period of time, till the time I realized, you know what, I don't need to do that anymore. The biggest mistake what we do in our businesses is telling everything to everyone. And the second mistake what we do is telling everything in one go. I just said in the previous slide that there are 4 kinds of people. All people doesn't need to know everything about your business. They just need to know the relevant stuff. And I'm going to be telling how it makes difference. So what do you really need to do instead? What must you do is define the segments to talk about a message. You would already realize that in your business, you have a set of importers or wholesalers, or you have a different set of retail chains or e-tailers or boutique stores, right? Now, a boutique store may require a completely different set of communication than an importer or a wholesaler. They may have different requirements altogether. If a boutique store has a set of requirements, if you start telling them everything of what an importer or a wholesaler needs or the way they need, it is irrelevant for them, and they don't need to listen to that. And the idea and what must be done is something we will be learning now in the next few slides as well. The second thing what we must do is learn to limit the information to one segment. We must not try and tell everything. Just stop and make sure that you are going to pause with regards to what you want to tell, like the way I said, give an example of the boutique store. So please make sure that you're going to limit the information, and I will tell you how you really need to limit the information. So let's get going and start building your 12-step marketing plan. And the first thing what we all must understand, being a buying agent, right, we all must learn is what is going to be our service mix. How are we providing, what all things are we providing to a client? So let's get going and first understand your service mix. First of all, you all need to identify your service mix absolutely clearly. What that means? That means that you need to categorize your entire set of services into 4 to 5 main areas which you offer. Okay, tell me please on the chat box, what all are the kind of services do you really offer to your clients? I can name a few, but of course it'll be nice if somebody can have quick actions on the chat box and type it for me. Sourcing, Wasim says, all right, yes, that's a good idea. Inspection, Wasim, you are putting message directly to me. Okay, Sumit Chabra says sourcing and quality. Okay, wonderful. Okay, that's good. So, oh my God, Achal said sourcing, PD, order management, quality control. Ruma says communication. Sandhya says logistics. Absolutely, yes. These are all the services what we do. Now, what we need to understand, I am sure out of these services, and if I were to just simply first divide it into three main things, I know that there is design, I know there is merchandising, and I know there's quality control. And of course, so many things which come under product development, supplier development, design and product, as I said, production management, quality controls, right? Training your teams, training your vendors for that matter. All of these factors, I'm sure some of you are doing gamut of services together, but many of you probably will be specializing in some of them. To a client, you must make sure that you clearly categorize that these are a set of 3 or 4 or 5 services I take up as a business. And of course, under this, you will clearly also specify what kind of products you are helping them source, right? You will have various categories of product you are sourcing. Along with the process of services, what you are doing, you also will clearly need to define what are the various products you are sourcing. And you should detail out activities under each of your service area. That becomes very, very critical. So if it is quality control, you must tell what a quality control really means. When you say you could actually be doing independent quality checks, you could actually be training your vendors and suppliers so that they make sure that every time they deliver a perfect quality to you, right? You also may be doing very detailed analysis at the time of designing stage and the product development stage. So if these are set of services, clearly detail out of a service mix. So what you need to do, it is basically, if you notice, first you need to have a stem, which is the 4 to 5 key areas. And after that, you need to branch out your various services as a part of those 4 or 5. Problem happens when you start telling every single thing together. You need to first tell the basic main things what you do, and then branch out within the space. For example, quality, you could talk about we take care of design, merchandising, and quality. Under quality, we do this. Under merchandising, we do this. Or under design, you could talk about the various things what you do. It gives clarity to the listener. And if they get clarity, they will want to talk to you even more. So my request to you is always give this super clarity. Remember the stem and the branch method. Always remember the stem and the branch method. It always works. Talk about the 3 or 4 main categories and see what branches out of them, and then talk about those different things. That's what you need to do. Once you have identified your service mix, once you are very clear what are the various things I'm going to be doing, and also identifying what are the products I have shortlisted under these, we then must know, and that is our second step in marketing plan, is who needs these products, who needs the set of services what I just mentioned, right? This is what we call it as identifying our target customers. So important for us is you all need to define your target customers really, really well, right? For each of your service category, you need to ensure who is going to be target customer, because let me tell you, not all services will be good for all target customers, right? For example, as I was just talking the other day with Archel and the team, we were talking about importers and the wholesalers is one segment, then retail chains is another segment, e-tailers is another segment, and boutique stores is another segment, right? A lot of these are different, they are in different stages of businesses. Somebody will say, okay, give me an entire service right from design to the development to the entire gamut of services which comes under it. Some might say, you know what, these are the designs, you need to get the product done on these designs. And by working, by planning, you will know each one, you will know what is the kind of client requires usually what kind of service. So when you've already clearly identified that which client needs what kind of service, it's better to tell them or give them the same bouquet of services rather than again telling everything to everyone and everything in one go. Doesn't make sense. So a service which is required or which is usually taken by a retail chain, if it is not good for a boutique, then it is of no use, right? Telling them. So what you need to do is you need to clearly identify the persona of your client. As I said, these are a set of clients what you have. So identify the persona. Who are the people who are reaching out to you? What kind of business they are in? What kind of location they are in? I know that, for example, a person coming in from Europe may have a different set of requirements than a person coming from Latin America, for that matter. You never know, right? So these are some of the factors which matter quite a bit when it comes to talking about different personas. And what you also need to understand and further see is how do you really define buying behavior. You need to clearly define buying behavior. Are they usually the ones who are looking at cost-effective services, or they are the ones who look at premium services? They don't mind paying $1 extra, but they want these 5 extra services with us. Clearly define their buying patterns and buying behavior, and you will start seeing that these set of common clients usually have this kind of a persona, and they will always ask these 5 set of services. So what you need to do, and this is something we fail to do incidentally, for each of your customer type, you need to define a service basket, a bouquet of services what needs to be provided. Okay, that is something which I request. If only one thing needs to be done out of this training, this is one thing you must do. You must create a bouquet of services for each of your customer types. And whenever you meet them next, only give them that bouquet. I can guarantee the response from that customer will be much, much more, rather than telling all the 20 things what you do, and half of those things the customer doesn't even need. They don't need to understand or listen to the things which they do not want. And you would know. You would, if I talk to any one of you, you would straight away know, you know what, this client, they will only require these 4 services. I know it already. You've been into the system long, so plan it like that rather than telling everything. So after defining your service mix, and after defining who do we really target, our target customers, we then in our business, the third step in the marketing plan is actually what message do I communicate to these people so that they listen to me and they buy from me. Now, this is where I would like to call it as a USP, the unique selling proposition. Every single person must create its own identity, his or her own identity. Problem is, many of us, most of us, let me tell you, out of the about 94% of all the people in the world are in something called as a Me Too business. What do you mean by Me Too business? A Me Too business means, how did you decide on the product? Because my competitors are doing like this. How did you define on your service mix? My competitors are doing like this. What is the kind of price you're charging? You know, this is the what price which is being asked in the market. So I'm going to charge the same kind of price. What kind of marketing you are going to do? What my competitors are doing. So if you are going to do everything what your competitors are also doing, you are literally in a business which is called as Me Too business. What you need to understand is how are you going to be different from your nearest competitor. And this becomes the basis of all the people, all the strategy is who gets taken, who does business. All right. Okay. Okay, so let's get going and talk about our USP. How are you different from your nearest competitor is something we need to be all very, very critical about. Okay. And let me tell you, there's another thing what really comes. I talk to so many people about their unique selling proposition and why are unique and what is your USP. They say, you know what, I have the best quality, the best price, the best range I have, and I timely deliver. You know what, 98% of all people in the world, you tell them, irrespective of any industry, they will say exactly the same thing. And then you expect that your customer is going to give you a preference when they are listening every single thing what you're saying from 5 others or 10 others or any other industry. Now, this is where we all need to start making a difference with regards to our business. What we need to do is to identify what really makes you unique and why do customers come back to you. So some of your customers and the best people, by the way, to tell you what you do best is not you, not your employees, not a marketing consultant like me, it's your customers. You need to really talk to some of your customers and say, you know what, Mr. X, I know I've been working with you for 5 years or 10 years now, okay? You must be meeting 5 other competitors like me. What is that one thing which makes you keep coming back? And please don't tell me about your quality, price, range, and timely delivery. Tell me something beyond that. They will tell you, some of them might tell you the kind of personalized approach they have. Some of them you have. Some of them might tell you that you are always able to control your delivery times. Some of them might just tell you that, you know what, you are 10% faster than any other buying agent in terms of the whole processes and delivery. And we did ask somebody to talk to many of their customers, and they did a little survey like this, and they realized that they were actually faster in deliveries than many others. Their customers told them, and they start talking like this, and they started getting responses. Many of you, I know that for you, quality matters quite a bit. What if you were to tell a client that or any new customer saying, I have a 99.6% no return record, just to give you an idea. Okay. Now, this is something, a point to talk and discuss. Every time I do business, I send a shipment. I have sent 1,000 shipments. 996 of them are always positive, and they are fast. Now, that's a record to talk about. That's what gives confidence to the people. And that's what identifies and separates you from the competition, because anybody else is just going to talk to you about, I have the best quality, I have the best timely delivery. When you say I am 10% faster than any other BA, buying agent, that's what makes you unique. When you tell them about all of the other factors I'm talking about, that's what makes you unique. So my request is, dare to be different, and you will see the business will come to you. Else, the challenges which are stated at the start of the training, we all will keep facing those challenges. Differentiation makes you get out of these challenges. And let me tell you, you do end up charging a better price because of that. All the people who are commanding a price in the market are the ones who have started identifying their differentiation. And I'm a book lover. You see a lot of books behind me. I would also like to recommend you one book. If there's one book which all of you should read in marketing, is a book called Differentiate or Die from Jack Trout. That book really gives you an essence of why and what makes you and how can you make yourself unique. And there is one thing what you need to do while we are still talking about uniqueness and while we're still talking about the way we want to take it forward. And that thing, my dear friends, is always keep your focus pretty much on what you are doing. Okay. If you are focused too broadly, you dilute your offering. And what I have seen is, if you are doing a work, if you're a buying agent, that's great. But if you're doing two other things also, apart from that also, it sends a very conflicting message to the people, right? You have a list of services. You anyways have a lot of products within your own gamut of services which you are offering to them. If you provide a completely different service which has nothing to do with buying agency, it confuses people. And I've seen people actually doing this also and that also and that also. Jack of all trades and masters of none doesn't work in marketing and doesn't work in business. If you have one brand, you provide one message. This is the service as a buying agent that I provide. These are the list of 5 services that I give. The moment you start providing any other services apart from that, it starts confusing them. You need to appear completely specialist. Now, I also know that as a part of the entire services, you may actually be doing 5 or 6 or 7 products, or maybe 10 categories, I would say. Okay. But are there 3 such categories which any buyer internationally comes and said, if I need to think about these 3 sourcings, this is one buying agent I need to be on with? Do you have this kind of a thought process? Do you have this kind of focus? Yes, you may be doing 10 because that is what your customer demands, that you are a one-stop shop for them. But are there any 3 out of those 10 where nobody can beat you in the market? And that is what also means with what I mean with focus. So remember that develop some strategies, develop some strengths. And frankly, if you are a big buying agency who have good teams, people start believing, and they do believe, that you can handle 7, 8, 10 different categories. But if you are a single person, if you are a team of 1 or 2 people, and if you start handling too many categories, it's again doesn't give the confidence to a buyer that you can handle all of that, what you're saying. In that case, you must focus on 1 or 2 very, very critical categories, which shows that you are a clear specialist. And that's what needs to be done. And still staying on the messaging, there's this one formula what we call it as a WIFM principle. What's in it for me? Whenever you are doing any communication, any messaging to your customers, always think about the benefit focus rather than your features. You may actually be busy telling, you know what, I do product identification, I do supplier identification, quality management, product management. Customer doesn't need to know all of these. Later, they want to know, but later. First, they need to know that, is it easy to deal with you? After dealing with you, can I save more time? And when you start talking about their benefit, always think about the customer first. Think about, after dealing with you, what benefit do they derive? You take away their worries. You save 20% of their time by taking all the services what they are thinking of. That's what they need to hear first, rather than thinking about a long list of your services. Now, this is where people also fail and fail to communicate with them properly, because they are so busy telling about themselves. What's in it for me? Customer keeps asking, what's in it for me? First, tell me that. And that's what they need to hear. What do they need? How will it benefit them is something you should definitely make sure and create all communication from their perspective. Remember, several years back when Apple, 2001, 20 years actually, when Apple launched its iPod, okay, everybody else around was talking about, I have 5 GB space in this, so you can have, you can listen to it. I have 2 GB space. Apple had just 1 GB space, but they did not talk about that. Their advertisement said 1,000 songs in your pocket. All they needed to tell was 1,000 songs in your pocket, and people took it. They did not care about the space. They cared about 1,000 songs in my pocket. And how many of you know, apart from iPod, any other such instrument which existed at that time? Nobody knows. An iPod got written in the history. So that's what you need to do. Always be benefit focused to the client. Always tell them, I save you 5% of the cost. I save you 7% of your time. I save you 20% more time. You get more relaxed while dealing with us, rather than telling what all you do. So please plan your strategies and communication like this. And remember the 80-20 rule of marketing. Pareto principle is very famous. It is applicable everywhere. What you also need to understand is, whenever you are talking to a client about your business, a lot of you will be doing a lot of digital marketing as well. The 80-20 rule of marketing says 80% of the times you will be talking about their benefit, the things which benefit them, and only 20% of the time you will be actually selling things that buy this from you. And this holds true whenever you are sending out emails to them, whenever you are sending out, whenever you are doing digital marketing for them, or whenever you are talking to them directly. Talk about the things which value them. There are tips with which they can do better business in India. There are things with which they should take care while ordering this. Talk about things like these. Selling things can always happen. I know some people who 100% of the time talks about the client's value and never talk about business, because business then automatically happens. That is the stage what we need. And it's a difficult space to be, by the way. We always think that, you know what, if we don't talk about our business, they will never come to us. No. Most of the people, good people who are pulling the business to themselves, is when they give value. You are on LinkedIn. Many of you will be on LinkedIn. See the kind of value people are giving. YouTube is full of value. People are appreciated. Try and see if you can create something around this as well. Next up, after planning a unique message, you need to see what is the unique positioning of yours in the client's mind. Okay. Position your brand in people's mind really, really well. And this is where service attributes come in very handy. Let me tell you, a lot of times when anybody is referring you, or any client who's dealing with you, they have a clarity dealing with you. They will know, you know what, talk to this guy. They are a premium kinds, yeah. They always get you premium. That is your positioning in their mind. There is second positioning, which could be price of service offerings, right? There could be a positioning around the quality you deliver every time. So you must also keep looking at this factor. How does the client perceives you? Does the client perceives you as a premium segment buying agent, or they perceive you as a low segment. There is nothing wrong in the low segment if you're talking about bulk quantities, but that is your perception which will become. So you must decide your positioning in the client's mind. Do they perceive you as the one who are super, you have no compromise on quality? Okay, you provide good stuff, but you are so clear about the quality. Next time they're going to refer you to somebody, they will say, you know what, talk to that person because quality is there, whatever. They will provide you the best of the stuff, whatever kinds, but they just do not leave the quality. So that is your positioning in their mind. You need to ask yourself, friends, how do your clients perceive you? And they will not tell you this. They will tell you their friend while referring you. That is your positioning. But that also means how you deal with them is giving them those messages. If you are lax about quality, they will get that positioning in their mind. So remember, and they will always position you with regards to your competitors. So make sure that you are communicating the right things, and these things just are not there in speaking. These are the things which go subtly to them with the kind of actions and behaviors. If you respond to them later, okay, or maybe a 48 hours later or 3 days later, they will get this kind of a thought process. You know what? You have to be after them, yaar. They will not respond. This is your positioning in their mind. I was just looking at Achal's post and it says 24 hours, you get a response in any case. I think it's 24 hours, right? So that is the positioning, that these are the guys who are going to respond within 24 hours, come what may. So plan, think what customers are perceiving about you, whether you have said something to them or not. And that makes all the difference while they refer you to some place. After thinking about positioning, what we need to understand, what we need to plan is, how are you really pricing your services? Now, product pricing is different thing, but I'm talking about your service offering. Okay, how are you really pricing your service offerings, the price of your entire service? And frankly telling you, friends, setting prices is an art. I do a 2-hour workshop only on pricing, because pricing, frankly, friends, is just, first of all, is a perception of value. If you show somebody that my service costs 10% and somebody says my service costs 11%, there is a 1% difference, but a lot of people do end up working on 11%, a lot of clients. Why? Because they see that paying that 1% gives them another 10% extra value. So whenever you are pitching to a client, are you asking yourself, is my client going to perceive a better value dealing with me? And if not, they will reject your offer of giving you an extra price. Every client sees the value. Okay, let me ask you a question here. If somebody tells you you need to you buy similar looking products, you want to buy, they are on the shelf. One is for 2,000 rupees, another one for 2,200 rupees. Which one will you buy? Type in for me in the chat box, please. A product, similar looking products. Right now, I'm not giving you much information. Looks exactly similar, 2,000 rupees or a 2,500 rupees. Okay, I'll give you a little bit. What will you buy? Type in anything. What is it? A lot of you people are thinking now whether it's a trick question. Yes, tell me now. Okay, answer says 2,500. Price determines quality. 2,000 incas. It depends on brand, apparent value, customer service. There you go. I got my answers. This is what happens. A lot of you got thinking, well, why am I asking this question? And you answered it yourself, right? A 500 rupee difference is people are ready to pay, like what Ruma says. It depends on the brand. It depends on the apparent value. It depends on the customer service. So you are yourself, just by me not telling you anything about the or will be ready, somebody muted me, sorry. So will be ready to pay if they perceive the value. So you need to also see that if that 2,000 rupee of product gives or perceives the value of 3,000, and that 2,500 rupee worth of product gives you a value of 5,000, you will automatically pay 2,500. You know, this appears to be good. I get a better value. And that's what you need to see. Now you need to understand what is that you are going to really show your value adds. And while showing value, there is one rule in pricing: you need to always give it to them, or never ever give the client one kind of pricing or one pricing. You need to give various levels. You go and buy a car in the market. You have a topmost level, you have a middle version, and you have a lower version, right? You talk about phones, a Samsung or an Apple or an iPhone, whatever you do. You have a 1 lakh rupee worth of a product, you have a 50,000 rupee worth of product, and a 20,000 rupee worth of product as well, right? You have a higher GB Apple phone and a lower GB Apple phone, at 10,000 rupees a difference. Everyone is following these levels of pricing. And you must show that if I am charging you a lakh of rupees for this service, then what that means for that service. And I have a second package, similar kind of thing, but I am charging 80,000 rupees. But that what 20,000 rupees, what difference that makes is something which should be very, very clear. And yes, I have a bare bones package, which is 75,000 rupees. So I will have 3 layers, 75,000 rupees, 80,000 rupees, and 1 lakh rupees. But if you do 1 lakh, these are 5 extra services you get as a part of it. The moment you start planning your services like this, people start seeing a value and they start delivering you a better price. They start giving you a better price. Yes, it's a long science. It will not come just like tomorrow you will start doing it. You will have to do a lot of research on the kind of value you will give, but it is worth it. It is worth thinking about how you should look at various pricings. After defining your pricing strategy, you must look at now. If you see we are going in a float, you created a service mix, then you identified that what kind of target segments do I need to go to, and then when I reach my target segment, I'm defining what should be my message to talk. And then once I've thought about my message, I'm thinking, okay, how are they perceiving me? And now it is time to give the price. Okay, now I need to be ready with my price. So you have identified your price. Now that you've reached a customer, you need to also see whether this customer is going to be impressed with me or not. And this is where the role of the marketing material comes in very, very handy. So what you need to do, friends, is make sure that you have your marketing collaterals ready. You have tons of your marketing materials. Kabir, you have a question. I will come back to you after another 15 minutes. I should be finishing the session. We are well on our way, closing within the hour. I will take the question just after this. But my request to you is, I spoke about branding at the start. You need to make sure that you finalize, you should have your collaterals and material well placed out. So whether it is a set of brochures you are going to make, or how your website looks like, your website is your living brochure. It's a permanent brochure. So how does it look like? People these days look at your website, look at your corporate profile. Many of the customers you will reach, they will send you, okay, send us your product base, send us your product catalog, send us a lookbook, okay, send us your corporate profile, send us your capability, what all you are capable of doing, what all have you done in past. If you do put these kind of things in place, people get confidence. This is one big factor. Once you are upfront telling them, I'm capable of doing this, I am showing you the proof, this is what my customers say, this is what my clients say, this is what I have delivered, this is what my team is, this is what my infrastructure is, people do get confidence. Corporate videos is this thing which I have seen people last think about. Many of us still do not have corporate videos. Corporate video is like something which goes to them even before you go, and it can communicate it beautifully if planned well. And it can pass on a super good message before they interact with you even. And it makes the difference in giving a good impression to the customer. All your products, who better than a buying agent knows the importance of photography and how the products look? Are the products you are sending planned and photographed in a way that they look the best? Is your presentation good? And is this presentation looking good in the overall scheme of things with regards to your collaterals? If not, you are already losing, my dear friends. What is your promotional material? When a customer sees your office, or when you go to a trade show and all that, do you keep some promotional material? Do you have certain gifts with your branding on it, which you leave it to them? All these things do matter. Do you have a nice standee which talks about your business, your passion, your values? All of these things people look at and they get impressed. They will not talk about it, that's a different thing. But they look at it and they create a subtle impression in their mind that, you know what, I'm dealing with a good company. Makes all the difference. So once your marketing collaterals are ready, now you are ready to go. Now you are ready to take the next step. And that step is identifying what are the channels of marketing which I must use to reach my clients. Okay. And in the past, we have all conventionally, I'm talking about 20 years, 30 years back, conventional channels of marketing, there were many. Okay. Initially, we all knew that either there is print or there is radio or there is TV or trade shows have been there for a long, long time. But these were all conventional channels of marketing. You talk about flyers, you talk about hoardings, and you talk about all those things, right? The magazines and all that, everything which comes in print. But the rules of engagement have changed, friends. There was a global survey which was done. And in that survey, they identified that for SMEs, there are 7 channels which are the most efficient. SMEs, when I say SMEs, cost efficient methods. 7 channels which could be super cost efficient, but could create tons of leads for you. These channels, friends, I'm going to now talk about, and they make every channel can actually give you tons of leads. The first one, and most of the channels you already know, but frankly, my question is not about telling you the channels. My question is, have you activated these channels so that the leads are coming to you? First one is social media marketing. We all know this channel very, very, very clearly. We know that we have to be present on Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn, because that is where our customers are. But have you activated enough so that you get leads from it regularly? If no, that is a losing strategy. You are just if you have not started getting leads from Instagram or LinkedIn already, you are not even scratched the tip of the iceberg for that. So have your business pages done, regularly post on your company business pages on Instagram, as well as LinkedIn, Facebook, of course, and engage people. That's something which is very, very important. Then email marketing is a very, very critical thing. And let me tell you, when the moment I say email marketing to people, they say, give me a database and I will start sending out mails to hundreds and thousands of people. This is the only email marketing method people have known forever. Actual email marketing has nothing to do with sending out any selling mail. Actual email marketing is sending out value mails to the people. As I said, talk about 7 tips to source right from India. The best ways with which you can put this fabric, or identifying that whether the fabric is right or not. These are the things what you need to send, because this is what people appreciate, and this sets you as an authority in your space. People like to deal with the people who are having an authority and who are not upfront selling them. So email marketing should ideally be used in creating a lot of expert image rather than just selling email. Use channels like MailChimp and Zoho campaigns, etc., who could really get you going with this. And with these MailChimp and Zoho campaigns, etc., you could even track who all are clicking your links, and then you can engage with them separately. Next up is building content. I've been anyways talking earlier about thinking about creating videos, creating some posts which are value things, right? What I said about the 7 things to do, you write a blog or an article or a LinkedIn article and post it write a blog on your website, post it on your social media, and bring people to your website from there. Send the same article, which is a value article, on email, and let them click that link to go over to website again. Make your website, and this is, by the way, my next channel. Your website should be an active lead generation tool. And by the way, our 3rd session from now will actually be going into a deep dive of these 7 channels. We will be talking about these 7 channels. But website can actually be a wonderful tool in making your website a hub of all the activity, from social media, from email marketing. Everybody comes onto your website. Look at PPC, pay-per-click. You would have seen Google My Business. Anytime you click on Google, your listing appears, right? Pay-per-click is a wonderful method. You would have seen Google ads right on top of any search. That ad is actually brings you top of the search results if you have paid for that keyword. and you have bid for that keyword the right way. What that does to you is it gets you above the search results, and you do not pay to display that ad, friends. You only pay once you click that ad. And once you click, you anyways go to your website, and then your website has to do the magic. So utilize things like pay-per-click, which can really get you people more deserved leads to your website. But if your website is not really well, there is no point using that. So that's why I've kept website in the middle of all of these things. Eventually, your website will be the hub of every single activity you should ever do. Participating in events and exhibitions, again, a very, very important strategy. I'm sure being a buying agent, you would have gone to hundreds of exhibitions for that matter. We all know it already, but I know that many of you probably are using this, right? And many others are still thinking about the others and started scratching the base of the other channels. And the last channel which is there is affiliate marketing. As I said initially, that are you having certain affiliates whom you collaborate with, JV with which you and them can seamlessly refer each other? Now, my question to you is, out of these 7 channels, how many channels are you actively using to generate leads? Now, be honest and type a number for me. Are you using 2 channels or using 7 channels? Type in 7 for me in the chat box, right? Or if you're using 4, be honest, because the first thing is to realize that I'm not using. And thank you for being honest. I see 2s and 1s and 4 and 2s coming in. Yes, that is the reality, friends. We are not using these channels, and then we blame the system or blame the things that, you know what, we are not getting business. If you have not activated these channels, you are anyways already losing the whole strategy. So start thinking about it. And that is why we've kept a separate session entirely on using the channels. Because more the number of channels of marketing you end up using, the better the lead collection is, and then the better the closure. After having spoken about the channels, let's look at the 8th thing in the strategy. The 8th thing in the strategy is our lead capturing. Whatever leads are coming from these channels. Now, these channels, when you activate them, the leads will start coming in. Now, another problem, what happens is, where do we keep our leads? How do you capture the leads? We have no clue. We have it written in our diaries, or we will have it in an Excel sheet, right? And many of us, by the way, the data says 92.3% of the people do not have a lead capturing mechanism. Only 7.8% of the people capture the leads in a proper CRM. My request is, do not let a single lead go away. It's your investment. You have probably paid a social media channel, put your time in it, sent out emails and got leads, or got a phone call, or you participated in an exhibition and got leads from there. What are you doing to them? Are they getting wasted? It's lying somewhere in an Excel sheet and never to be looked back again? Never. Always use a CRM tool, customer relationship management tool. Now, this tool, very simple tools for beginners are also available. A tool like Begin or a HubSpot or a Lead Squared. Or Lead Squared and HubSpot are still extensive good tools which are there for SMEs as well as for bigger companies. Zoho itself has a full-fledged CRM tool. Use any, doesn't matter. I'm suggesting these 4, but use any. Have a lead capturing mechanism so that if I were to ask any one of you, I have Wasim, Matt, Mahesh, any one of you, 1 year later, that today, the 1st of October, the lead what you collected, can you tell me which was it? You should be able to tell. That is the level, because you should be able to go back to them. They've already shown interest in you. You can always go back to them and start a conversation. So all of you must have a lead capturing mechanism, because if that is not there, the next steps are of no use. And the last set of plans, the steps in the plan, the next one is actually your conversion strategy. Now that you've got leads, how do you really convert? And I did start telling you briefly about it. Okay, we should take just about 5 more minutes, so we are good with the time. So conversion strategy must be there. How do you really impress your prospects? How do they grow confidence in your business? Have you understood their buying behavior? Are you showing enough infrastructure to them? Are you showing enough value to them? And 2 factors, what we call it as tangible versus intangible factors. There are tangible factors which are like infrastructure, team, the past work and testimonials, which are very, very critical, by the way, why people will buy from you. Infrastructure, team, your past work and testimonials. And then there are intangible factors, the way you deal with them, the sophistication you present, the speed of your quotations, the speed of responses. Every single thing, friends, is noted by the person, by the client. And that's what makes them decide whether you are going to work with them or not. It matters. Next up, now that you have given them the confidence and they have become your customers, what's next? It's but obvious that you need to deliver them a wonderful customer service like none other, right? Customer service is something which now, this is the third page. Remember the three kinds of people I was talking about? So we moved from prospects to leads and now moved into a customer. You all must make sure that you are delivering a wonderful customer experience to all the customers, because these days, friends, while the prices of the products are becoming so much in competition, it is a service which makes a difference. It is a service why people keep sticking back to you, keep coming back to you. And people do not leave client vendors. They will not leave you because of the service you deliver to them. And what is service? It's a great behavior or a wonderful surrounding which you give it to them, or a great delivery experience which you give it to them. You must make sure that you are providing an exceptional customer experience. And I know that this is again one of the challenges which we are going to address, and our session number 5 is going to be addressing specifically the customer service and how great customer service should be done. After the customer service, what next? Now the customer is wow. Okay, now the customer must refer you. There are two things what you need to look. Why will customer come back to you? And why will they refer you more? And that is why all of you must have a referral strategy. That how do customers regularly refer you? Referral market is simply a customer referring you to another friend or client of theirs. How regularly, my friends, do you ask them for referrals? You must make a strategy with which you are going back to them, sir or ma'am, if you think I'm doing a wonderful work with you, do you think I'm doing a great job? Yes, they say, you are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for keep doing it with us. Okay, if yes, are you willing to give me a referral, please? Because if I give them a logic why. If they give you a referral, you tell them, I will spend less energy in finding more clients and more energy in serving you better. They will accept it. They say, I don't have to spend another money, tons of money. 5% of my budget is in marketing. If you refer me, I will employ that at the back end so that I can service you better. I have seen this strategy working with customers every single time, and they are more than happy to refer. First thing required, you should have provided them a wonderful customer service. Otherwise, they will not give you a referral. The second thing, what is very, very critical in a referral marketing strategy is, are you on top of their mind, even after you've delivered the service to them? Are you reaching out to them regularly with value posts? Or something I thought would be value to you, maybe a good read for you. Send it out to them. Or are you participating enough on LinkedIn marketing or marketing like this, where your customers are also there? If you're posting something regularly, they will keep you in top of your mind. Do you give them enough stories of making a difference? The testimonial. Oh, I thought of sharing a testimonial with you, a good, great client, since you have been a great client with us. Just share something with them. It makes a lot of difference. So referral marketing is again a very, very critical thing of which you must adopt. Have a referral program. We will be talking about referral program probably someday, but have a referral marketing strategy. And last but not the least, what you need to see is that these customers retain with you. They are there with you forever. What that means, we all know that it is easier than getting new customers, new business. Retaining a customer is easier. So you must always look at how to increase the average purchase value. And every time they come in, can they buy an additional product or a service? Which means the average value of each purchase increases. The second thing what you need to understand is, can they come back to you more frequently because of the kind of services you are giving it to them? Your customer support to them should be very, very critical and should be organized. And my request to you is you must start either a loyalty program or an engaging event. If you do this, people keep engaged and they come back to you. All in all, what I'd say is when it comes to customers, when it comes to your leads, when it comes to your prospects, you should appear to them extraordinary, because these days are not for ordinary people. This time is for extraordinary people, right? And my friends, this is what we call it as our 12-step marketing plan. All of you must look at after going back. And if you have not acted on this 12-step marketing plan after today, then this session is of no use to you. So look at what is one area, what you need to do, what you need to act on, and I can guarantee you, you will get success in these processes. So my request is, last thing, with a slide I'll close, make marketing a habit. How? You must allocate dedicated time each week for marketing. Define that Tuesday evening, 4 p.m. is my marketing planning time. No other thing I'm going to be doing. Have a dedicated time. Learn more about the various things which I spoke today, the 12 methods. Learn more about that. Take help from an expert if it is needed. And then I spoke about 7 channels today. Find a balance with channels. It is not true that every channel will be good for you, but you need to find by trial and error which will be the best channel for me. Allocate budgets to spend. Please do not cut corners. You should make sure that you are allocating, let's say, 5,000 rupees for active marketing, right? And don't wait for the business friends. Go grab it. Reach out to your customers. Ask for more referrals, because it is only when you really activate your marketing. My request is take control of your marketing. And before I close, I want to ask you, now this is the one question which I want to ask you, the last question. After this, ask yourself this question and type it for me, the answer to this question. After this session today, what action do I need to take for my business growth? Type in one thing which you are going to implement after today's session. This is a Friday, and the best time is this long weekend. If you're not, even if you're going out for a holiday, please spend some time, is that you will do something. So I see response coming in from Anupam. Anupam says website improvement. Okay, I must see. Okay, Sandhya says to be more active on social media. All right, what else? I see there are still 47 people in the room. Ram Kishan says CRM, social media planning. Ruma is saying website reactivation. Okay, create a brand logo, Pradosh says, followed by creating profile in social media. Overall website and social media marketing group says a better marketing strategy, Kabir says. All right, set up a CRM and a social media marketing. Wonderful, wonderful. All of you, why I made you to write? Because this is what you need to start doing. Okay, if you've written, you've kind of committed. So many people saw that you've committed. You better start. Now, all of you, please start doing your social media marketing or whatever you thought you should do. With this, I would like to thank you all for being there. I see still 47 people in the room, which is wonderful. Thank you so much. And I now give and hand it over back to Achal to take people's questions and views. Over to you, Achal, Avinash. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Gagan. Thank you so much. Kabir did have one question, so I would firstly invite Kabir to go forward and ask exactly what his question was. Kabir? Kabir, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. It was just a question regarding the pricing part, where I was just trying to understand how it's relevant for buying agents, but I looked at it from the perspective of an overall model, and I guess that makes sense. It's just for us, we're always, our job is always to get the best price. We don't have that option of price differentiation. And even if we do that, I'm not sure if it's ethical to charge a higher price than what it is.
As I said, Kabir, it's actually a perception of the value you end up providing. It's very, very subjective, Kabir. And frankly, within your space, you will have buying agents offering various kinds of services and different pricing. I can guarantee you. So it's all about finding the right way to charge, but it will look unethical till the time you do not show the value.
Right, right. Thanks a lot.
All right, Kabir. Thank you so much.
Anybody else who has a question, could you please raise your hand and then we will invite everybody one by one to share.
I would also like to know, Achal, while a lot of people were responding to me, how did you like the session? Anything you want to put on the chat box, at least put that. If no questions or questions might come, let's write it on the chat box. What was your opinion of the session today?
If anybody wants to give a verbal feedback, please go ahead and let Gagan know. I mean, I'll begin for sure, Gagan.
Hi, Gagan. I have a comment to make here. I think post 1 hour, we have more competition on hand with you. You know more about our business now and all the strategies. We have more competition. So yeah, but it was very, very fruitful, very knowledgeable, and very in-depth. And I'm so looking forward to the upcoming sessions.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you.
To add to what Tanya was saying, Gagan, I must say that you were very right. Till the end of the session, we had about 50 people. And we started with about 53 people. So 3 people, I would give or take some network issues. So I would say that's like a completely hit session. People were riveted. I was riveted to it. I mean, I do a lot of these things that you spoke about, but still, you know, as I said, there's a lot of reiteration, and that always helps. So I think overall, you've given us some really, really key pointers in terms of what we should be doing. And I would actually invite all our members and friends here to actually go ahead and try. Trust me, everything that Gagan has said, it works. I mean, I come from a management background myself. So I have been used to doing some of these things. I haven't really utilized all of Gagan's strategies, but I can surely say it totally works. Thank you so much, Gagan. This was really a wonderful one. Rumaji?
Yes. Hi, Gagan.
Yes, hi, Ruma.
Very riveting 1 hour. It hardly felt like an hour, actually. One suggestion for dinosaurs like me who are not media savvy, would it be convenient next time you have a session to have short segments and a Q&A? Because very often things move on.
Okay, yes.
And to come back to something, you know, you go off into a different mode of thought. So it would be interesting if you were to make short modules.
Okay.
And have an interactive short session and then go on to the second module, because then I think it, you know, sustains, you know, it gets more reinforced, and it, you know, it gives you time to mull and think and figure out before you go on to the next one, because the next one is even more exciting and even more mind-boggling, and then it's the next one and the next one. So I've been busy scribbling notes.
You're going to get tons of ideas today.
Correct, exactly. So that'll be fun to go through all my notes later. But yes, what I would suggest next time you have a session is to have shorter modules and a short Q&A per module.
All right, sure. Point taken. We will plan. Right now we have a series of 5, but definitely this association is going to go strong, and we will definitely create some more sessions like these. Point taken.
And very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Yes.
So Gagan, I hope you're reading the comments that are coming on the chat. Thank you so much, Gagan, for a wonderful session. Got a lot of clarity. Great session. I have a question. Okay, Anupam ji has a question. Can you give a soft copy of the link to this so that we could, as we could not write down everything. So Gagan will share a PDF version of this presentation with us, which we will share back with you. I hope that's okay, Gagan?
Achal, I would request this. It's being recorded. If you can give the recording.
Yeah, that's what we are going to do. The recording is any which way is going to go up on YouTube. So members, whoever doesn't have it, you can always review the session again, understand the techniques again from Gagan. Not live, but still there. Gagan, very enlightening session always. We learned a lot from you. Thanks, Sonal and BA, for organizing this knowledge package. So, DG, you need to come for the remaining 4 as well then. Then we have many thanks for the wonderful and productive session. Excellent session, Gagan. It's really helpful. So honestly, I mean, I would say it's been a complete hit, no doubt about it. Everybody's completely loved it. I think half of them are mesmerized and they really don't know how to even say anything because a lot of it is not things we do. So, there's a lot of action that will happen post this presentation.
And
Everybody
frankly,
will be great.
Achal, I would like to say, at times, I have done this session hundreds of times, and this session leaves people a little overwhelmed. But all what I would request you all is, and that is why in the end, I asked you just one question. What is one thing which you would like to do? And people who said this was the top of the mind thing, what they had. And my request is, even if you just pick up that one thing and really deep dive into the one thing which you wrote on the chat box, you will already start taking good number of steps with regards to your market.
Absolutely. Every little step counts. Agreed. Great. Avi, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Mr. Gagan, for the wonderful presentation. Now, I would like to invite our Joint Secretary, Mrs. Tanya Bhatia, to give the final and the closing address. Tanya, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Abhi. At the outset, first of all, thank you so much, Gagan. While you were talking and going back and forth, I really never imagined that this is going to be so gripping, such a gripping session and extremely informative. I'm sure each and every one of our members has something to take back, something to ponder over, something to change within their setup and organization. And like you said, make small notes and make the move now. So thank you so much for making this effort for us. Thank you, a big thank you to Sonil for combining and collaborating with VAA for this wonderful session. We are looking for the upcoming sessions. We're looking out for more information and yeah. So and thanks a lot, Achal, for compiling this session together with Sotex, and looking forward to the next upcoming sessions. Thank you, members. We've never had such a good attendance, and this has really been good. So looking forward to a lot more with you all.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
next
much.
session, everyone. Thank you.